According to Ming Chi Kuo, Apple has a ton of products that go beyond iPhones and iPads for early 2020. We have new leaks of what to expect for the OPPO Find X2 from the company's VP, because why not? And more leaks of the Poco X2 have emerged, this time showing off the phone's display. I'm Jaime Rivera, and well, Apple's quarter results prove that if a company listens to its customers, customers are actually going to be willing to buy their products. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals. I will include some Apple products, but then we've also got some more options for those of you looking for more. Let's start with Amazon. The company continues its deal of $100 off the 10.2-inch iPad that we covered yesterday, but now it's extending to the cellular variants as well. The latest Mac Mini is $99 off on Amazon. You can actually get $150 off at B&H, leaving it at $850. Finally, the Razer Blade Pro 17 is $500 off its $2,500 price tag, leaving it at $2,000 for the 16 gig variant, 512 gigs of storage, and the RTX 2070 Max Q graphics variant. That Razer Blade is actually one of my friend's favorites, so it's actually a really good buy. You can learn more about everything in the description. Now, for those of you that are interested in looking at that OnePlus Concept 1 that we covered over at CES, you actually will have a chance, sort of. The company is doing a Concept 1 world tour, so more people can know what the device is about. The tour will extend through North America, Europe, and India starting on February 5th. You can check for availability and dates in the link below. Obviously, they're also going to be briefing people as to why they're doing this, so it might be a good idea for you to join. Now, this is rather interesting, as we've been covering the Huawei ban in the United States for months, and we've also been covering all the lobbying that the US government has been doing for other countries to not use Huawei services. But that just reached a very interesting halt. The UK recently announced that they will not follow the US steps and will allow, quote-unquote, high-risk vendors like Huawei to supply equipment for their 5G network infrastructure. Huawei will be limited to a 35% market cap, so the country doesn't become overly reliant on them. Huawei responded and said that they've reassured the government with evidence that they should not be worried. Today, the European Union just also followed the UK and has confirmed that they will also be acquiring products from Huawei. This is rather interesting. We'll see how this develops going forward. Now let's talk about that Poco X2. I mean, I was happy that it made the hottest news recently, but I think it's even harder to see the product because it does not look like a cheap mid-ranger. We have 4 new alleged images of the upcoming device. The first shows the phone booting up, and then once it's on, we get to see the dual punch hole display and the setting screen where it says Poco X2. We see very minimal bezels, and the leaks claim that we should expect that 120Hz display smartphone. That setting wasn't shown, but still, I mean, that phone looks like a Galaxy S10 Plus, which cost $1,000. Not what this phone's going to cost, so we'll see. And how about if we talk about OPPO's plans for MWC? We've been hearing that the company is planning a lot for the show. We'll obviously be there covering it, but the thing about it is, well, the company just started leaking its own stuff. The company's VP just showed off on Weibo that the Find X2 will support 65-watt SuperVOOC flash charging, which charges a 4,000 mAh battery in 30 minutes. Other expected specifications include a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865, a 2K AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate. It will also pack a dual punch hole and bring 5G support. In addition, that Sony 48 megapixel camera should also make the cut. But the thing about it is, I am excited. I mean, if you remember, the OPPO Find line has always been great. I just can't wait to see what design elements they bring to the table to differentiate it. And finally, the hottest news today are rather extensive because Ming Chi Kuo has a couple of predictions, not just for 2020, but also for 2021. We're going to leave the 2021s for tomorrow to not go through many. But let's start with the fact that it seems that Apple is going to be launching a ton of products in early 2020. Right now, what's most important is that it seems that Apple is not just going to launch iPhones, iPads, and Macs. According to Kuo, we should expect a refresh to the MacBook Pro that we assume will be that 14-inch variant, possibility, and maybe a small update to the Air, which we assume is just going to be the sister switches to the keyboard. We also hear of some high-end headphones from Apple, which is odd given their ownership of the Beats brand. We also hear a possible wireless charging mat, which we're not gonna hold our breath on because we know how AirPower went. And we also hear of these ultra-wideband tags, which will most likely help you find your products if you use the Find My application. Last but not least, let's talk about the fact that we should expect that iPad Pro refresh in addition to that 4.7-inch iPhone. Which dates? We're not exactly sure if we're going to get all this in March or some at WWDC. I assume that the tags will happen at WWDC, but let us know in the comments down below, what are you most excited for? Because in my case, it will be that refresh to the iPad Pro. And second, how do you think that Apple is going to reinvent the tags that Tile and so many other companies already do? We'll see about that. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see what video is coming up next. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.